Met a preacher in Pecos with Spurs on his tongue. Said, son, the trail gets shorter when you count what you've done. I said, preacher, pour the coffee, leave the brimstone for the judge. I got pages full of gravel and a heart that will not budge. He slid a Bible like a saddle to the middle of the booth. Said, lean your weight on something more than pride and bulletproof. This is a cowboy's last confession, laid down like a lonesome brand. Every scar a burned-in lesson, every prayer a shaky hand. If the rope is made of choices and the drop is what I've earned, let the good Lord hear me clearly, for the daylight finally turns. This is a cowboy's last confession. I ain't asking for a crown, just a horse with gentle footing and a way to set it down. I broke a heart in Brady, left a ring in Abilene, chased a high in San Angelo, drew dead in San Joaquin. I learned to bluff in Lubbock, I learned to bleed in Kerr. Lost a friend behind a stockade when the bull went into stir. I've told the truth like tumbleweed, showing up where I don't belong. And I've lied like a jukebox coin, buying 3 more minutes strong.
There's a boy who calls me father, who deserves a better name. I mailed him plastic belt buckles while I toured my little fame. There's a woman who sews my buttons when I finally stagger home. She can smell the dust of strangers like perfume inside my bones. I swear I tried to love him with a heart that wouldn't split, but my saddle kept on empty and the miles kept wearing it.
This is a cowboy's last confession, laid down like a lonesome brand. Every scar a burned-in lesson, every prayer a shaky hand. If the rope is made of choices and the drop is what I've earned, let the good Lord hear me clearly, for the daylight finally turns. I traded Sunday mornings for the roar of Saturday nights, swapped sermons for the spotlight and the cheap Forgivin lights. I kept my hat pulled low so nobody saw the seams, while the barbacks swept my footprints into someone else's dreams. If grace is for the graceless, then maybe it's for me. If mercy's more than moonshine, let it fill me to the knee.
Take my rope and tie it to the hitching post of truth. Let the knots hold when the storm wind claws the shingles loose.
Take my spurs and hang 'em where the children fall asleep. Let 'em sing of open ranges we were always meant to keep.
Take my hat and set it by the window near the dawn. If I'm gone before the coffee, tell the sun to ride me on.
Let forgiveness flood the badlands where my better angel calls. If the rope is made of choices and the drop is what I've earned, let the good Lord cut me gentle. Let the restless finally learn. This is a cowboy's last confession. If I get one final sound, let it be the creak of leather as my soul turns back around. There's a bar off Main and Midland where the neon never sleeps, where the barkeep pours confessions and the jukebox keeps the peace. Every stool's a pew, every whiskey's holy writ, and the floorboards know the secrets of the boots that never quit. I walked in with a wrinkle of a promise on my face, said I'd only stay a minute, just enough to find my place. But the mirror over bottles showed a man I half recall, and a choir of dusty cowboys started singing down the wall. Pour a shot glass for the sinners, line them up and say their names. Let the amber be a lantern for the hearts we couldn't tame. If the Lord keeps count of sorrows, maybe he'll forgive the din. So pour a shot glass for the sinners, and I'll raise one for my kin. A welder named Ramirez tapped his ring against the rim, said he swore off drinking Mondays, but tonight the odds are slim. A widow from Odessa wore her grief like turquoise stone. She asked the band for Waylon and a dance to not feel alone. A rookie cop in civvies took his badge out of his coat, said the law ain't always justice, but I'll do my best to vote. We toasted to the broken, to the ones who stayed upright, to the liars who came honest for the first time in a night. Pour a shot glass for the sinners, line them up and say their names. Let the amber be a lantern for the hearts we couldn't tame. If the Lord keeps count of sorrows, maybe he'll forgive the din. So pour a shot glass for the sinners, and I'll raise one for my kin. I remembered little Jamie with the laugh that split the dark, how we raced along the river and we carved our stupid marks. He took a job in oil, chased a flame he couldn't hold, left a note about forgiveness and a ring of Texas gold. The barkeep wiped the counter like a priest absolving dues, said redemption's on the shelf, son, pick your proof, don't lose. I thought of phone calls never made and letters never sent, how a man can build a fortress out of what he won't repent. The band struck up a shuffle that could mend a busted knee, fiddle stitched a wounded while the telly set them free. We circled like old Mustangs that forgot about the bridle, every stomp a testimony, every grin a half-born idol. A stranger touched my shoulder, said here's to coming clean. It ain't the drink that saves you, it's the friends who've also seen. So I set my glass on oak and I looked the ceiling through, said if heaven has a bar, make some room for me and you. Maybe faith is pouring out the last one you won't need. Maybe grace is leaving when your pride still a shot glass for the sinners. Line them up and say their names. Let the amber be a lantern for the hearts we couldn't tame. If the Lord keeps count of sorrows, let him smile and wave us in, 'cause we left our final empties and walked out new again. Pour a shot glass for the sinners, every last and wayward kin. Raise them high to second chances and the courage to begin. There's a fence out by the pasture, rusted posts and crooked lines. Every strand of twisted wire holds a memory of mine. I built it with my father, learned the trade of callous hands, but the wire cut me deeper than the lessons of the land. I fell in love with Jenny when the spring was sweet and fair. We carved our names in cedar, said forever we'd be there. But forever's just a rumor when the wire keeps you bound. She left me for the city when the corn turned dry and brown. Barbed wire and broken hearts, cutting deep, leaving scars. Every fence we built together kept us further apart. Barbed wire and broken hearts, tangled up, torn apart. I'm still bleeding in the pasture where she left her mark. Mama said, son, fences hold the cattle, not your pain. You can tie the land together, but you can't control the rain. I watched the storm clouds gather, felt the thunder roll within, and I knew no length of fencing could keep sorrow from my skin. Now the posts lean like old men, praying for a softer ground. The wire hums in twilight like a lonesome, mournful sound. I walk along the border of a love that fell apart, and the thorns of all our choices tear right through my heart. Barbed wire and broken hearts, cutting deep, leaving scars. Every fence we built together kept us further apart. Barbed wire and broken hearts, tangled up, torn apart. I'm still bleeding in the pasture where she left her mark. If love's a pasture, let it grow wild and free. Don't cage it with the fences built by fear and jealousy. But I was blind to mercy, thought the post would hold her near. Turns out all that wire only bound me to my fear. Barbed wire and broken hearts, cutting deep, leaving scars. Every fence we built together kept us further apart. Barbed wire and broken hearts, tangled up, silence where she tore my world apart. Down by Laredo, where the river runs black, I saw the moon catch shadows that won't come back. The water whispered names that the law won't say, and the current carries secrets where the dead men lay.
There's a cantina singer with a voice like smoke. She sings of silver dollars and the ties that broke. Men in boots play poker, pistols by their side, while the Rio keeps on flowing with the blood it hides.
Blood on the Rio Grande, red in the sand, stories written heavy by an outlaw hand. If you ride too far south, you best take a stand. There's blood on the Rio, blood on the Rio Grande. I met a man named Diego with a scar like fire. Said he killed for pesos, never did retire. He told me, gringo, listen, the river don't forgive. It swallows every sin and the lies you live.
The sheriff looked the other way, justice turned its head. A preacher crossed the border, but came back dead. Still the fiddles play at night, still the whiskey pours, while the Rio keeps a tally of forgotten wars.
Blood on the Rio Grande, red in the sand, stories written heavy by an outlaw hand. If you ride too far south, you best take a stand. There's blood on the Rio, blood on the Rio Grande. Maybe heaven's waiting past the desert's glare. Maybe hell is closer in the smoke-filled air. But the river keeps on moving, cold and unplanned, washing down the stories. Blood on the Rio Grande. Blood on the Rio Grande, red in the sand, stories written heavy by an outlaw hand. If you ride too far south, you best take a stand. There's blood on the Rio, blood on the Rio Grande. There's a bar called the Borderline where the neon bleeds like wine. Floorboards speaking rhythm, every scar another rhyme. There's a pair of old brown boots nailed high above the stage. Legends Some folks cross for wages, some folks cross to find their names. Some just stand in empty lots, inventing smaller flames. Me, I cross from who I was to who I might become. Left a history in the doorway like a beaten drum. Looked up at those boots again, they seemed to nod at me, as if to say, you paid your toll, now dance and let it be. There's a line outside of everything we swear we understand. There's a stamp we can't erase upon the back of every hand. But there's music in the mercy when the fiddle starts to cry, and a law inside the heart the border lights can't classify. So I tip the band another round and loosen my disguise. Let the rhythm cross me over with Domingo's watchful eyes. Boots by the borderline, looking down on every fight, every secret we kept hidden, every wrong we tried to right. If they could talk, they'd tell you, put your burdens on the floor, dance them down to ghostly dust and sweep them out the door. Boots by the borderline, saints and sinners intertwined. When the last chord rang, I felt the fence unspool inside my mind. Pitched a lean out in Lano, where the river hums low. Stacked cedar in a pyramid, set the tinder to glow. The first lick of flame wrote a story on our skin, and the night stepped back polite to let the music begin. Casey tuned his Martin, Rosa warmed her bow. Stars like silver nails held a black velvet show. We passed a battered flask like a secret in the light, and the fire made us braver than the cities ever might.
Campfire shadows dancing on our boots, turning all our troubles into soft and harmless soup. Campfire shadows teaching old hearts new what the daylight never tells us, the midnight always knew.
A coyote called for backup from a ridge across the bend, and a whippoorwill kept rhythm like a metronomic friend. We told the kind of stories you don't say in town. How Rosa lost her brother when the well rope snapped down. How Casey missed his wedding when her rig caught fire. How I carry letters from a woman I admire. Nobody fixed nobody, we just listen clean and true. And the warmth did what the warmth does, turning hard things into dew.
Campfire shadows dancing on our boots, turning all our troubles into soft and harmless soot. Campfire shadows teaching old hearts new what the daylight never tells us, the midnight always knew. Rosa drew her fiddle through a lonesome canyon side, and the bow spoke languages that words can only try. Casey laid a low like a riverbed of steel. I found the harmony that honest moments feel.
The sparks rose up like wishes from a childhood 4th of July, and every hiss on cedar felt like you're allowed to cry. We laughed about the foolish, and we blessed the ones who stayed. We named the constellations after promises we made. Later, when the ashes drew a halo on the ground, we settled into silence like a snowfall without sound. The moon put on her apron and she swept the mesa clean. You could hear the world remember everything it's been.
I thought about my father teaching knots with patient hands, how a campfire is a teacher of the oldest kinds of plans. When the logs collapsed in orange and the night pressed into here, I said a quiet thank you for the people gathered near.
Maybe peace is simple, just a flame and friends and time. Maybe prayer's a chorus sung in unison and rhyme. Maybe love is found where the shadows kiss the light, where the fiddle draws an answer from the marrow of the night.
Campfire shadows dancing on our boots, turning all our troubles into soft and harmless soot. Campfire shadows keeping wanderers true. When the daylight starts its questions, we'll remember what we knew.
Campfire shadows bless this humble view, a circle made of hearts and flame and stars that see us through. Out past Sweetwater where the cotton ghosts ride, the wind lifts secrets like a preacher's surprise. Sunbaked County Road, dashboard rattling low, I'm chasing down a rumor only tumbleweeds know. There's a billboard for salvation and a pawn shop cross. There's a locket in my pocket with a photograph lost. I left a woman in Snyder with a name like June. She said you love the road more than any old tune. I told her I'd return when the harvest turned gold, but the season kept moving and my promises got old. it never seems to stay. 'Cause dust devils don't pray, they just carry you away. Pulled into a diner where the coffee's burned black. A waitress named Glory with a thorn vine tattooed back. She poured me one more and she read me like a song. Said your heart's a busted window in a panhandle storm. I grinned like a sinner with a sermon to dodge. Paid with a crumpled tin and a broke down homage. On the radio, a fiddle cried a thirsting man's ache. Pedal steel bled silver like a sky about to break. I wrote June a letter on a napkin stained brown. Folded it in shame, then I left it in town. Dust devils don't pray, they just dance and blow away, spinning up a storm of every word we couldn't say. If mercy's in the rain, it never seems to stay. 'Cause dust devils don't pray, they just carry you away. By the time I hit La Mesa, the horizon wore thin. He'd shimmer hymns, asphalt singing my sins. A church bell yawned noon, but my soul kept still. I counted every mile like a barbed wire wheel. A boy on a bicycle raised a dust ring halo, waved like an angel sent to tell me go slow. But I pressed a little harder, chased my shadow down, like a man who fears silence more than leaving town. June's name on my lips, but my tires wouldn't yield. The road was a judge and the sky was a field. Evening found me west where the windmills pray. Their arms turn circles I can't quite obey. I stopped by a windbreak, lit a match to the blue, watched smoke write questions the night couldn't chew. I dropped to my knees, but the words turned to clay. Mouth full of grit, where the saints usually pray. I heard that old fiddle in the hush between stars, and I knew I'd been worshiping miles and bars. Maybe faith's not thunder, maybe love's not law, maybe grace is water on a booth heel floor. If I ever find June where the cotton fields sway, tell her I learned one truth the hard panhandle way. You can beg for the rain, you can bargain all day, but the wind has its reasons, and dust devils don't pray. Dust devils don't pray, they just dance and blow away, spinning up a storm of every vow we couldn't stay. If mercy's in the rain, Lord, send it down today. 'Cause dust devils they just carry you away. Dust devils don't pray, yet I'm down here anyway. With a hat full of dust and a heart, trying to pray.
Lit a fire bright as daylight, poured the whiskey clean. Jake tuned up his fiddle, strung it high and tight, and the prairie turned to magic in the firelight.
Mary stomped her boots down, skirt swaying with the sparks.
Laughter cut the shadows, coyotes kept their marks.
I strummed the worn-out Gibson, sang a line or two, while the fiddle chased the embers like the wind was born anew.
Fiddle and firelight, songs that never die, stories wrapped in cedar smoke, stars up in the sky. Every bell on every string, every flame that burns so bright, keeps our souls together in the fiddle and firelight. A ranch hand named Domingo told a tale of outlaws bold,
Of Silverberry secret, of fortunes never told.
we leaned in by the fire, the fiddle played it true.
Every note a revelation of the things we thought we knew.
Some cried in the silence, some danced in the flames.
Some whispered to the night when their long forgotten names.
Me, I just kept strumming, hearing echoes in the night, carried on by music, fiddle and firelight. Fiddle and firelight, songs that never die, stories wrapped in cedar smoke, stars up in the sky. Every bow on every string, every flame that burns so bright, keeps our souls together in the fiddle and firelight. One day this fire will dwindle, one day the bowl will still,
But the memory of that music's something nothing ever kills.
when the years are gone to ashes and the strings all fade away.
The firelight will guide us,
And the fiddle still will play. Fiddle and firelight, songs that never die, stories wrapped in cedar smoke, stars up in the sky. Every bow on every string, every flame that burns so bright, keeps our souls forever in the fiddle and firelight.
I walked into a tavern where the doors swung wide. Smoke curled like psalms and the neon lights light. I asked the barkeep, what's the strongest you got? He said, son, Heaven Saloon, don't water down the shot. The stools were old prophets, scarred with every sin. The jukebox sang Said the rope broke kindly 'cause the angels had faith. A rancher spilled his sorrow about the son he couldn't save, but the band played louder like a hymn over grave. I felt the weight lift lighter with each pouring glass, like the sins on my shoulders turned to smoke at last. I ain't saying salvation comes in bourbon or gin, but in heaven's saloon even losers can win. Heaven's saloon, where the saints still drink, where the Lord pours mercy quicker than you think. Every shot's a prayer, every toast a tune. Raise your glass tonight in heaven's saloon. Maybe heaven's not gold streets, maybe heaven's not a choir, maybe it's a neon cross glowing by the fire. If the pearly gates are swinging, may they creak like doors in June and welcome all the sinners to heaven's saloon. Heaven's saloon, where the saints still drink, where mercy's a special and forgiveness don't sink. Every shot's a prayer, every toast a tune. We'll meet again, boys, in heaven's saloon.
I found a shoebox by the register of a sun-bleached Texaco. Dust on every envelope, names I didn't know. Postmarks stamped like cattle brands, years apart like dying stars. Coffee burning on the warmer, trucks humming by like cars. The clerk just shrugged and said, been sitting there since '94. So I took that box outside and set it on the store's front door. Letters left in Laredo ain't the color of dried out rain. Whispers from a border town where hearts remember pain. Some were begging, come back. Some are saying, set me free. Every page a map of miles between what is and used to be. Letters left in Laredo, folded prayers that never flew. I read them like a sinner searching for a truth he never knew. One was signed Maria, with a lipstick kiss in red. Baby, cross when it's moonless, keep your hat down on your head. Tell the river you're forgiven for the sins you'll try to hide. Tell your mama I ain't angry, I'll be waiting on the other side. Another pen by Calvin said I'm sober 30 days. Stains that look like black coffee, or maybe whiskey's haze. Letters left in Laredo ain't the color of dried out rain. Whispers from a border town where hearts remember pain. Some were begging, come back. Some were saying, set me free. Every page a map
between what is and used to be. Letters left in Laredo, folded prayers that never flew. I read them like a sinner searching for a truth he never knew. I sat on a concrete bumper while the mesquite threw its shade. Heard a busker's tired guitar where the sun and sorrow fade. Border lights were blinking like a string of mercy beads, and a desert wind was reading every line between the reeds. There was one about a soldier shipping home to San Antone, promise ring inside the fold, a rusted circle of unknown. Then I recognized a letter, not the name but how it spoke. Words like horses hard to bridle, promises you can't revoke. It said, kid, you'll lose your compass, chasing stages and the roar. Ride me when the cheering's over and you're sleeping on the floor. I'll be running that cantina where the jukebox always weeps, signed by a woman named Dolores, where the Rio Grande keeps. Letters left in Laredo, ink the color of dried out rain. Whispers from a border town where hearts remember pain. Some were begging, come back. Some were saying, set me free. Every page a map of miles between what is and used to be. Letters left in Laredo, folded prayers that never flew. I read them like a sinner searching for a truth he never knew. Maybe love is customs, asking questions you can't fake. Maybe faith's a paper passport you stamp each time you break. Maybe we're all the senders, praying postage finds its mark, hoping some tender angel keeps our messages from the dark. I packed the box back carefully, like a bandage on a wound. Left a note that said, I read you, someone heard you under this noon. Letters left in Laredo, ink the color of dried out rain. If nobody ever answers, still the writing eases strain. I left mine with Dolores. If you see me in your bar, tell me where the highway ends and where the faithful are. Letters left in Laredo, I walked off toward the blue, with a pocket full of quiet and a heart that felt brand new. The sky broke wide over Houston like a busted mason jar. The thunder rolled like cattle, lightning stitched the scars. I pulled my coat up higher, had brim dripping through. I swear that rain in Texas sounds like it remembers you.
The highway signs were bleeding where the neon met the storm. A trucker honked a farewell as his his taillights kept me warm. Every puddle whispers secrets, every drop cut like a chain. And I found myself confessing to the Lone Star rain. Lone Star rain, wash away my lies. Soak these boots I wore through every goodbye. If the sky's a preacher, let it call my name. I'll be baptized once again in that Lone Star rain.
I thought about Maria, how she left me in July. Said a cowboy's love is thunder that never tells you why. She slammed the screen door shut, and the silence felt insane. But a shadow keeps on walking in this Lone Star rain.
I pulled into a roadhouse where the jukebox sparked inside. The barkeep wiped the counter, said, "Boy, you look half died." I ordered one more whiskey, watched it circle down the drain. He said, "We're all just drifting in the Lone Star rain." Lone Star rain, wash away my lies. Soak these boots I wore through every goodbye. If the sky's a preacher, let it call my name. I'll be baptized once again in that Lone Star rain. Maybe mercy's just a storm cloud, maybe hope's a lightning flash, maybe love's a muddy river where two hearts can crash. If the heavens hold forgiveness, let it fall without refrain. Let me drown my sins tonight in that Lone Star rain. Lone Star rain, wash away my lies. Heal the cracks I carried, cleanse these weary eyes. If tomorrow finds me dry, I'll start again the same. 'Cause I found my salvation in the Lone Star rain.
The stars are my lanterns, the night sky my map. I'm driving through Texas with a wheel in my lap. Radio's crackling, the AM's low, but my heart beats louder on this dusty road. Midnight on a dusty road, wind in my hair, chasing down the memories that ain't even there. Every mile takes me farther, but I don't know from what. Midnight on a dusty road is all I've got. Pulled into a diner where the waitress don't smile. Said coffee's $1. Sit down for a while. But I'm restless, baby. Can't sit still. I'm running from silence, and it's chasing me still. Midnight on a dusty road, wind in my hair, chasing down the memories that ain't even there. Every mile takes me farther, but I don't know from what. Midnight on a dusty road is all I've got. Sometimes the night feels like a woman's embrace. Sometimes it cuts like a blade on my face. But I'll keep on driving, I can't let it end. That dusty road's my only friend. Midnight on a dusty road, wind in my hair, chasing down the memories that ain't even there. Every mile takes me farther, but I don't know from what. Midnight on a dusty road is all I've got. She walked in like a wildfire, boots clicking on the floor. Eyes the color of mesquite smoke, trouble I'd seen before. She said, buy me a whiskey and I'll tell you what I know. But when the sun came up in Austin, she was already gone. Her laughter was a shotgun, her silence was a blade. She left her scent on my denim like a storm that never fades. I thought I'd hold her steady, I thought I'd tie her down. But a woman born for riding never lingers in one town. She rode away in Spurs, leaving dust upon the dawn. Every promise she had whispered turned to ghostly song. She rode away in Spurs, and the sound still cuts my chest like the rhythm of a memory that never finds its rest. I found her name in Lubbock a jukebox crawled in ink. Heard her tale in Amarillo, where the cowboys go to drink. Each story painted lightning, each one lit a trail of fire. Said she kissed them, left them burning, with a heart that won't retire. I swore I'd chase her shadow clear across the Rio Grande, but I learned the wind don't answer when you try to make demands. So I tip my hat to freedom, let the whiskey keep her ghost. If she rides again tomorrow, Lord, I'll toast her from my post. She rode away in Spurs, leaving dust upon the dawn. Every promise she had whispered turned to ghostly song. She rode away in Spurs, and the sound still cuts my chest, like the rhythm of a memory that never finds its rest. Maybe love's a saddle you can't cinch too tight. Maybe hearts are Mustangs that vanish in the night. If she ever looks behind her at the trail she tore apart, she'll see me standing lonely with a lasso in my heart. She rode away in Spurs, leaving dust upon the dawn. Every echo of her laughter is a hymn I lean upon. She rode away in Spurs, and though she'll never turn around, her boot prints carved a love song I can't lay down. Highway stretched like a sermon, sky crackling with fire, radio preaching static, wipers beating tire. I was driving down to Corpus, storm clouds on my tail, thunder talking louder than the sheriff or the jail. Every mile was a gamble, every sign a fleeting ghost. I left behind a woman who had loved me far the most. She said, son, the storm will find you, don't you think it won't? But I pressed the pedal deeper, telling truth I couldn't front. Southbound with the storm, running from my name, lightning in my rear view, forgiveness in the rain. Southbound with the storm, chasing roads I can't outrun. I'm a sinner in the thunder, and my judgment's just begun. I stopped in San Antonio, where the streets were slick with tears. Bartender said, son, storms reveal what you most fear. I swallowed down the bourbon, let the glass fall where it may, but the thunder followed closely, never more than half a day. The storm ain't just the weather, it's the lies you leave behind. It's the faces of the faithful you could never keep in line. And I swear I saw her shadow in the lightning's crooked flame, like she's following me south promise hold salvation. Maybe gulf winds set me free. Maybe storms are only warnings of the man I failed to be. But until the rain stops falling and the thunder fades away, I'll keep driving down this highway till the Lord calls Judgment Day. Southbound with the storm, running from my name, lightning in my rear view, forgiveness in the rain. Southbound with the storm, and I know I won't outrun, but I'll ride into the darkness till the reckoning is done.
I rolled through Abilene with a pistol in the dash, past a church with broken shutters and a neon cross half-mast. The preacher waved a Bible like a stop sign in the rain, but I just kept on driving, chasing ghosts I can't explain. I once loved a girl in Waco, swore she'd be my last. We built a house of matchsticks and we burned it down too fast. I begged for second chances, but her silence made it plain. Texas ain't forgiving, boy, she don't forget the pain. Texas ain't forgiving, no matter what you say. Every town remembers every wrong you tried to play. The highways write your story in the dust you leave behind. Texas ain't forgiving, but she'll always cross your mind. I drank away my wages in a Fort Worth neon storm. The jukebox played reminders in a key I can't transform. I tried to bury sorrow in a bottle's crooked grin, but the dirt just spit it back out like the shame I carried in. The border towns remember, the ranch hands know your name. The sheriff shakes his head like he's tired of the game. You think you've outrun judgment, but the land will mark your sin in the cotton fields and mesas where your story won't give in. Texas ain't forgiving, no matter what you say. Every town remembers every wrong you tried to play. The highways write your story in the dust you leave behind. Texas ain't forgiving, but she'll always cross your mind. Maybe heaven's gentle, maybe mercy's kind, but Texas is a ledger with no room to sign. ain't forgiven, no matter how you plead. She carves your name in limestone and she waters it with need. You'll pray for her redemption till the stars refuse to shine. Texas ain't forgiven, but she'll haunt you for all time.
There's a hill above Amarillo where the mesquite barely grows, and a frame of crooked timber stands a red wind and blows. Oaks don't speak it loudly, but the stories still get told of the cowboys, thieves, and drifters swinging where it's cold. I rode in on a Sunday, my saddle worn and thin. Sheriff eyed me sideways, said, "Boy, you carry sin." I tipped my hat and chuckled, said, "Ain't that what we all?" But I felt the gallows watching as I stumbled in the hall. The gallows in Amarillo creak in the night, like a song for the guilty, a warning for the right. If your boots hit that scaffold, son, you best not pray too slow. The gallows in Amarillo swing with the devil's flow. In a barbed, dusty glass, said, "Men like you don't linger, they move too damn fast." Her eyes were desert twilight, her smile was a dare, but she whispered of the gallows, said, "They'll find you there." I rode out past the stockyards where coyotes sang like hymns, felt the rope already tightening, shadows sinking in. I ain't no saint, I'll tell you, I ain't begging for release, but those gallows in Amarillo, they don't never sleep in peace. The gallows in Amarillo creak in the night, like a song for the guilty, a warning for the right. If your boots hit that scaffold, son, you best not pray too slow. The gallows in Amarillo swing with the devil's flow. Maybe justice is a circle, maybe mercy's just a lie. Maybe every man's a sinner waiting on the sky. If I meet the hangman smiling, I'll nod and let it go, 'cause the gallows in Amarillo, Lord, they already know. The gallows in Amarillo creak in the night, echoes of the guilty,
hit that scaffold, son, you best not pray too slow. The gallows in Amarillo swing with the devil's flow.
Here's a shadow in the corner of the dance hall tonight. Boots never touching but moving just right. I swear I hear laughter from a woman long gone. Her perfume still lingers when they turn off the song. The honky-tonk ghost keeps two-step time. Whispers in the whiskey, every line. If you feel the chill, then you'll know what I know. This bar's got a honky-tonk ghost. Old bartender swears he's seen it before. A cowboy long-bearded still walks through that door. The jukebox plays tunes nobody selects, and strangers get chills they can't quite reject. The honky-tonk ghost keeps two-step time. Whispers in the whiskey, haunts every line. If you feel the chill, then you'll know what I know. This bar's got a honky-tonk ghost. Maybe he's dancing with a love he once knew. Maybe he's drinking till the dawn breaks through. But I raise up my glass and I toast with the most to the soul of the honky-tonk ghost. The honky-tonk ghost keeps two-step time. Whispers in the whiskey, haunts every line. If you feel the chill, then you'll know what I know. This bar's got a honky-tonk ghost. There's an old ranch dog laying by the cedar gate, gray around his muzzle, eyes that meditate. He's seen 1,000 mornings, chased 1,000 moons, guarded every pasture like a fiddle guards a tune. He limps when the wind blows cold through the plains. Scars tell the story better than names. Once he ran with thunder, once he howled at night. Now he sings in silence by the firelight. The old ranch dog song ain't written in words. It's carried on the hoofbeats, it's echoed in the herds. Every bark was a promise, every growl a prayer. The old ranch dog song still lingers in the air. I was just a boy when he kept me from the creek, pulled my sleeve and saved me when the water ran deep. Mama said that dog's got angels in his eyes. Daddy said he'll teach you how a cowboy rides. rolled like tumbleweeds. Friends came and gone, but that old dog stayed, singing steady strong. Now his paws are heavy, his breath comes slow, but his tail still beats with the love we know. The old ranch dog song ain't written in words. It's carried on the hoofbeats, it's echoed in the herds. Every bark was a promise, every growl a prayer. The old ranch dog song still lingers in the air. One day the sunrise will come without his bark. One day the moonlight won't hold his spark, but the fields will remember, the barn will hum with the echoes of his spirit in the dust and drum. The old ranch dog song ain't written in words. It's carved in the silence where the cattle once stirred. Every child who grows up will hear it and know the old ranch dog song never lets you go.
There's a hush on the prairie when the wind lays down. No cattle cry, no coyote sound. The grass bows low like it's whispering prayers, and the stars take watch from their silver stairs.
I've ridden through the thunder, I've ridden through the flame, I've chased every horizon like it carried my name.
But the silence out here cut sharper than the knife. When the prairie finally sleeps, so does your life. When the prairie finally sleeps, no boots on the ground, just the memory of footsteps, just the echo of sound. The wide open Texas sky holds secrets it keeps, and peace comes calling when the prairie finally sleeps.
my father and his weathered, steady hands, how he planted seeds of patience in the stubborn land. He said, son, don't fear the quiet, don't curse the still, for in silence you'll find mercy, in stillness his will.
I sat down my saddle, let the horse graze free, lit a fire of mesquite where the past could leave me be. Watch the smoke curl upward like a hymn without a sound, and I felt my soul grow steady with the earth around.
When the prairie finally sleeps, no boots on the ground, just the memory of footsteps, just the echo of sound, the wide open Texas sky holds secrets it keeps, and peace comes calling when the prairie finally sleeps. Maybe death's not darkness, maybe life's not war, maybe heaven's just a silence we've been longing for. If the coyotes close their howling, if the wind decides to rest, then the prairie sings you home to the place you're blessed. When the prairie finally sleeps, no boots on the ground, just the memory of footsteps, just the echo of sound, the wide open Texas sky holds secrets it keeps, and peace comes calling when the prairie finally sleeps. I was born in a shack where the dirt winds blow. Mama raised me tough, Daddy left long ago. Learn young how to fight, learn young how to sin, but I found my religion at the bottom of gin. Whiskey runs in my veins, fire in my chest. Every bad choice I make still feels like the best. If the good Lord forgive, I'll be shocked when he does. But whiskey runs in my veins more than blood ever was. Played my songs in outside Fort Worth. Sold my soul for a stage and a few rounds of myrrh. The women, they came like shadows in smoke, and I promised them heaven with a tongue that broke. Whiskey runs in my veins, fire in my chest. Every bad choice I make still feels like the best. If the good Lord forgives, I'll be shocked when He does. 'Cause whiskey runs in my veins more than blood ever was. There's a church down the road where the bells still toll. I can hear them at night when I'm losing control. But the bottle's my Bible, the bar stool's my pew, and the preacher's my barkeep, pouring gospel into. Whiskey runs in my veins, fire in my chest. Every bad choice I make still feels like the best. If the good Lord forgives, I'll be shocked when He does. 'Cause whiskey runs in my veins more than blood ever was.